Hi, and welcome back to Sailing Zephyr. After 3.5 years of sailing, we have finally made it to the east coast of the US. Join us as we make the 1,000 nautical mile journey from Fort Lauderdale to Annapolis. If you would like to support our journey, a great way is by clicking the subscribe button. Enjoy the video, guys.
Good morning, everyone.
Today we're on the move again.
For the first time, and I mean the first time on Zephyr,
We're going through a lock.
We're going through a lock, so that's going to be pretty cool. It's only a tiny little one. We're not talking Panama Canal size. I think it raises like just over a foot of water, but it's literally just after the great battlefield bridge we're about to go through. We're going through the bridge in about 35 minutes here, and then the lock is almost instantly after it. So we're not 100% sure how it works, but from what we understand, there's a few line handlers. You chuck them a line, you tie up on your port side.
Port
side. Takes a few minutes and then you're through. So, cool.
Josie 5 core on 1-3 over. We're just following in the tug. What are our instructions?
There is a lot of chatter on the radio, and we can see the barge everybody is talking about ahead of us. But it's not until right about here that we get notified that they are going to load all of us into the lock, including the barge. Just to be clear, this is a rare occurrence, and normally the barge would get the lock to himself. But with so many boats waiting, the lock operators decide to ask all of us to drive down a very narrow stretch between the barge and the lock wall.
We're in the lock. That was literally supposed to be the easiest, and it was the most difficult because we had to thread this needle between this massive barge. Look at this. Look at that. Well, if we can do this, the Panama Canal should be a breeze.
Where should we go? Here. Yeah. On the top.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. I've got it on time lapse and everything.
These are our friends on Traveler. I squeaked in just ahead of us. So I don't think I did too bad. I bumped one of these rubber things with my quarter when I was coming in, but it was a lot better than bumping into that thing. That's it. We're leaving the lock. Look at these massive Navy ships here in Norfolk. This one has actually been lifted out of the water. How crazy is that? We're debating what they're actually doing to these ships. I think they might be decommissioning them, but we're not too sure. They're doing something to them. But that's crazy, they lifted this one out of the water. There's a paddle boat as well. Well, we are almost in Hampton, guys, and we're still under motor. There's literally no wind, just less than 5 knots of wind. And we've got full raging current with this. Check this out. Normally with the RPMs we're doing, we'd probably be motoring at about 5.2 tops, right? About 5 knots. We're motoring at 8 knots. And we've got 3 knots of current with us, which is epic. So, pretty cool. Which means when we do our run tomorrow, we should have a pretty good run for the first half of the day.
Once we get to Norfolk, that's it. We have reached the end of the ICW. We head straight into the Elizabeth River and shoot up to Hampton, Virginia, where we go and explore the famous Monroe Fort.
So construction of Fort Monroe started in 1819 and it was completed in 1834. And apparently this moat, it initially served as a way for them to bring in all the stones and the bricks, and then it served as obviously a barrier for fortification. So yeah, very interesting. We're gonna go inside and check it out. The largest stone fortification in the United States. There's a cool fun fact for you. It is absolutely beautiful. Let's see what we got up here. Well, we've moved into the center here. We're in front of the famous Lincoln gun. This is a huge 15-inch gun. I think it was the first one. They called it the Rodman gun, now the Lincoln gun. And apparently its range was 4 miles, which is nuts. And the projectile weighed upwards of 300 pounds. So pretty incredible.
It's time to head back to Zephyr and call it a day. On our dinghy ride home, we come across our friends who are full-time liveaboards aboard their boat, Traveller. After a quick chat, it really is time to call it a day, so we put the dinghy up and relax. Little did we know what the Chesapeake Bay had in store for us the following day.
Well, we just got hit 45 knots of rain and wind. The bimini is taking a punishing. Holy crap! 42 knots! Biggest problem is we got markers out here, but I think we're gonna be okay, and there's random crab pots, but mental. It's starting to clear up. I don't know what our peak was, but we were into the 40s there. So much rain, so much wind, so quick. We haven't had a squall like that. I think the last good one like that was Panama, when Nat and I were going from Bocas to Linton Bay, and we had that downdraft burst of 50-something knots. But that was an absolute shellacking that we just took. So, and I think we're starting to pop out. There's still a bit of rain and stuff ahead, but hopefully we're through the worst. Well, squall number 2 is inbound, as you can see. Look at all that. This one's not as bad because it's on the. This one's not as bad because it's on the nose. But yeah, man, I reckon this heat wave. Well, Nat and I were talking about it. We reckon this heat wave is maybe kind of causing these thunderstorms, but whew, coming on fast. Zephyr is clean. Just come inside so I can speak to you. But basically what we're going to do is we were going to go to an anchorage that's about another 20 miles north of here originally, but with this new squall that's come through, the waves that have been chucked up by the wind are like 2.5 foot, got current now that's turned, so I think we're just gonna duck in here. This was our sort of fallout anchorage if things got bad, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna duck in, use this anchorage, and yeah, and we'll head off again tomorrow. We got another sailboat just out there. Oh yeah, look at this. We're probably gonna get this right here. Chesapeake is giving us a run for our money today. All right, squall number 3. Here it comes. We got like 25 knots of wind, and here comes the rain.
The only thing left for us to do is to endure it and try to get to our anchorage as fast as we can. James continues to check the weather radar on his phone. It's not looking promising for the rest of the day. Well, we've definitely seen the Chesapeake Bay at its wildest, I think. Storm after storm after storm, and just, I don't know, horrible conditions on the beach. I don't know, it's just been not what I was expecting from the bay. But I guess because it's so shallow, the waves build up so fast in here.
So the rain is gone, the squall is past, we still have the wind, but now the big problem is the swell. It's coming from the northwest, which gives a long run for this swell, and it is massive. There's no period to the swell, it's just huge, like 4-foot sets, and we're getting it at like 45-degree angles, so the boat is just getting smashed. Guys, we are in our little hidey hole. This was our bailout anchorage if things got a little hectic. Look at this. I mean, you could water ski in here. This is incredible. We are in Jackson's Creek, for those that want to know. I mean, this is incredible. We are totally exhausted. We're gonna sit down, have a little bit of dinner, and call it a night. We'll check in with you guys tomorrow and see if we're gonna make a move north. The weather allows. All right, guys, good night.
So I think that's it, guys. We are leaving the state of Virginia.
Follow me, I go show you the way. Follow me, I go show you the way. C'est la vie.
What a difference 12 hours makes on the water, hey? Yesterday, 4 to 6 foot, 26 knots. This place was a washing machine. Now, it's a lake. Well, here we are. We have just dropped the hook. We're in Solomon's.
You've been searching in the wrong place, yeah. I know that you've been here.
This kind of sailing is what we do.
You have me on your side. Follow me, I go show you the way. Follow me, I go show you the way. C'est la vie, no movie, I go show you the way. Follow me, I go show you the way. I'ma be right here, girl, right next to you. Surfing in the wrong way. You be surfing. You've been searching, yeah. In the wrong place.